Good afternoon and welcome to the regular meeting of the City of Glendale Commission on the Status of Women. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bruselian? Here. Chair Burns?
Present.
Vice Chair Magrin?
Present.
Commissioner Perrion?
Present.
Commissioner Simmergen?
Present.
Ex officio Dulanian?
Present.
Ex officio Garabedian?
Present.
Would you please stand for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next item, please.
Item 1B, report regarding the posting of the agenda. The agenda for the August 12, 2019 meeting was posted on the bulletin board outside of City Hall on or before August 9, 2019.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Item 2, introductions and presentations. Under 2A, presentation, Glendale Police Department, Detective Minas Solakian.
Good afternoon, Ms. Burns and members of the Commission.
Thank you for attending.
Thank you for having us. My name is Detective Solakian. I'm with the Glendale Police Department. I work for the Assaults Unit, and the Assaults Unit handles crimes such as domestic violence, stalking, any forms of assaults, sexual assaults, child abuse, and any crimes against persons. I am here today to update you on statistics regarding domestic violence. If we can proceed with the slides. Oh, I'm sorry. So for those who don't know, the Penal Code has divided domestic violence into two categories of misdemeanor and also felonies. Felony domestic violence involves any assault which inflicts corporal injury resulting in traumatic condition upon a victim who is either their spouse, former spouse, someone they've had a dating or engagement relationship with, or someone that they share a child in common with, or someone that they live with or previously lived with. And corporal injury is at a different level of injury. Any significant injury as it pertains to any broken bones, loss of consciousness, and any other serious injuries. The misdemeanor category is involving the same categories of relationships. However, it can range from a simple assault to minor injuries sustained. So our statistics are ranging from January 2017 to June of 2019. The statistics have not changed significantly. According to our statistics, there were a total of 730 assaults in total in 2017. Of those 730, only 46% were domestic violence related, which is nearly half. In 2018, there were a total of 728 total number of assaults incidents that were reported. Of those, 49% were domestic violence related. In 2019, and as of June 2019, we have had a total of 328 total assaults so far since June. Of those, 48% have been domestic violence related. So, as you can see, the statistics show that domestic violence plays holds a significant portion of the assaults that have been reported in Glendale. So, this chart displays assaults by type, ranging on what types of assaults that have been committed, whether it be with firearms, hands, fists, or feet, knife or any cutting instruments, or other dangerous weapons, and other that are simple assaults that were not aggravated. In 2017, looking at firearms, we had one incident domestic that was involved a firearm that was used. That was a domestic violence incident. If we look at 2018, none of the domestic violence incidents where a firearm was not used, and in 2019, so far, no firearms have been used. But a total number of aggravated injuries in 2017, 2 of those were involving domestic violence, and that's significant injury using hands and feet. In 2018, 4 domestic violence incidents involved aggravated injury with hands, fists, and feet, and none in 2019, as of June 2019. However, looking at the charts, there hasn't been any significant change when it comes to the types of assaults that we've had. So the number of arrests that the Glendale Police Department have made involving domestic violence, in 2017, we made 96 felony domestic violence arrests and 120 misdemeanor arrests, with a grand total of 216 arrests for domestic violence. In 2018, we had 121 arrests for felony domestic violence and 175 arrests for misdemeanor domestic violence, which is quite an increase from the year than 2017. In 2019, so far, as of June 2019, we've had 52 arrests made for felony domestic violence and 85 arrests for misdemeanor. So a total of 649 arrests since January of 2017 for domestic violence. So this chart is looking at domestic violence reports comparing to the first 6 months of the year, since we only have up to June for the statistics for this year, and a grand total of 170 in 2016, 154 in 2017, and 195 in 2018, and so far 162 this year. So it's still at the average number of incidents compared to since 2016. So there have been a total of 681 since 2016. And this chart is comparing the number of domestic violence incidents. 2018 has been the busiest, the highest number of all domestic violence incidents in the last 4 years. I want to talk a little bit about what we do to kind of prevent and help the community out with, domestic violence and preventing domestic violence and keeping the community aware about domestic violence. One of the significant things about the Glendale Police Department is that we, by policy, are required to report any domestic violence disturbance incidents. And what these incidents are non-criminal domestic disputes, whether it be a neighbor calling because they hear residents in this apartment unit are fighting, or what sounds to be like the items being thrown around, something significant enough where this person had to call 911. So our patrol officers will go out there, they'll conduct their investigation, and ultimately, if they see there are no injuries and the subjects state that, hey, we were having an argument, someone decided to smash something, an item, but no one really assaulted one another, our officers still document that. And what we do is, as detectives, we follow up with those subjects that were involved. We also call them, interview them again in case any of the parties were ever intimidated or or did not state the truth whenever the patrol officers were there. That way we can, kind of double check and make sure that, no actual crime had occurred there. So also what we do is, we verify that Department of Children and Family Services were notified if children were involved during these incidents. That's a patrol function, but we as detectives do the double check and make sure that these notifications are made. And also these domestic violence disturbance reports, what they do is they play a significant role in future domestic violence crimes. Let's say one day, in the future, this couple ends up being involved in an actual domestic violence incident. Whenever we go file the case to the district attorneys, we have documentation showing that, hey, there's a history behind all this, and we've been out here at this location 3 times. There have been 3 domestic violence disturbance reports that were taken and documented, just to show a history to the district attorney, and that helps out significantly on prosecution for these cases, especially whenever you have a non-cooperative victim, which is very common because of fear and other things. And when we do follow up with subjects of these incidents, we provide them with resources and guidance. We'll talk to the parties and let them know how to obtain restraining orders if they do need one. Kind of give them a chance to, a chance to escape from whatever situation that they might be in. As of today, there have been 172 domestic violence disturbance reports taken, and that's just half the year. Each of these cases have been followed up on by detectives to ensure the safety of the parties involved and to verify no crime had occurred. Not every police department does that, so I'm very proud that we do that. It's a very thorough way of investigating these types of situations. And the Glendale Police Department appreciates the commitment and support of the Commission on the Status of Women. Your continued support throughout the years has been very beneficial to us and to our victims. One thing I do want to bring up is the Victim Impact Program, VIP. And so it's a program created by the LA County District Attorney's Office. It's designed specifically to address the needs of victims with unique vulnerability. These crimes include those committed against the elderly and children, hate crimes, and crimes of sexual abuse, stalking, and domestic violence. The Glendale Police Department works very closely with the Victim Impact Program and the district attorneys that are part of that team. So they've been doing a very great job working with the police department and making sure that these cases are looked at thoroughly and prosecuted thoroughly. So I want to thank them as well. And that's all I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do we have questions from the commissioners, please?
I have a question.
Yes,
Hi,
Commissioner.
thank you for coming. I noted, well, in 2018, it was a lot higher. Do you have any stats on that? Why? I mean, is there a reason why it was a lot higher in 2018 than the other years?
We don't have actual statistics on why it would be high. However, it just varies by year, and sometimes some years, these types of incidents have an increase, just like any other crimes, and it just fluctuates up and down. But yeah, we don't know exactly why there was an increase as opposed to the years prior.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. Thank you. Thank you for coming. And you indicated that because of your follow-up policy, you feel that that benefits and controls the rate. By any chance, would you know how our domestic violence rate in the city of Glendale compares to other cities that perhaps don't have the follow-up policy?
Yes, I can get that comparison, and I could forward that to the commission.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay. I just, if you could go back to the slide with the bar graph, I have a
Yes.
question. For 2019, I believe that's a 6 months?
Yes, first 6 months of each year.
Oh, of each year,
Of
6
each year.
months. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
Greetings, Detective Solakian.
Hello,
Thank you so
Commissioner.
much for your service to the city
Thank
of
you.
Glendale. I was wondering, after the arrests are made, comparing felony and misdemeanor arrests, what is the process and punishment for those that are arrested for domestic violence?
It varies by the decision of the court, but felony convictions serve higher level of punishment as opposed to misdemeanors. Typically with misdemeanors, subjects do not do too much time as far as sentencing goes. They will get probation. They are required to go to domestic violence classes and anger management courses. But as far as like felonies go, depending on the severity, it all varies depending on the severity of the crime, the nature of the injuries, and also the subject's criminal record. If the subject, let's say, is on probation or parole, it will definitely be a violation of that probation or parole, and also the judge, the prosecutors will pretty much go for a longer sentencing. Or, for example, if this is the suspect's third or fourth domestic violence, he's had a criminal record of domestic violence in the past, that's also looked at and taken into consideration when they give out their sentences.
I see. Thank you.
Any more questions?
I do. Thank you, Detective. We
you.
appreciate you, and certainly I've worked with Detective, in my capacity at GUSD as well, and they're really resourceful and helpful, so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Looking at the data, I was wondering how many of these, are there any repetitive counts or in the count, or is it just per incident, or is it per? See, so some of these DV calls could be repetitive calls, same
Right.
family, same house. So the number that we see here, 137 for this year, are any of those repetitive calls?
That's a very good question. These are individual incidents, so it doesn't differentiate whether it's like the first or second or third time, or if it's like the same family. Each incident is counted individually.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
So some families, some numbers here might be like five of them might be for one family or one couple. So,
Okay. Thank you.
thank you.
So as based on your question, now you got me thinking, I'd be curious to know what that number would be if you were to take away the multiples, right?
Yes.
To see the number of residences.
Absolutely, and that's
that
something
this is occurring in.
I can get to you guys as well.
That'd be great.
A ratio.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Next item on the agenda, please.
Item 3, oral comment. Discussion is limited to items not a part of this agenda. Each speaker is allowed 5 minutes. The commission may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or discussion. Staff may refer the matter to the proper department for investigation and report.
We have 2 speakers. Camille Levy. Welcome.
Good evening. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair, Commissioners, City staff. I am here today for 2 reasons. The first one is I'm wearing my Chair of the Senior Services Committee hat to let you all know about an event which is occurring on October 5th. One of the assessed needs that the committee has been looking at has been senior safety and emergency preparedness. Our seniors are asking for more information, easier ways to perhaps facilitate that process to be prepared. So on October 5th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the community room at the police department, we will be having a senior Safety and Emergency Preparedness Fair. I know we all happen to think that, you say emergency preparedness and people are like, oh, earthquakes. This covers everything. We live in a very vulnerable area. It isn't just earthquakes, it's wildfires, it's flooding, it's having a fire in your own neighborhood. So this will be a free event. We're doing it on a Saturday so that our seniors can participate, and we're encouraging families to come as well. Why am I bringing this to the commission? Well, I think we all know that who's responsible for planning and safety in our homes? It's usually the woman. So we are encouraging everyone to bring their seniors. This will be a unique opportunity to help them realize what it is that they really truly do need to do to be prepared. So I hope to see all of you there. Questions?
Thank you.
Okay, my second item, you thought you were going to get rid of me. I am also here, this time wearing my hat as the board member for Wellness Works. Many of you may be aware of Wellness Works. We've been in the community for 36 years. For the last 13, we have been providing services solely to veterans and their families. Not only alternative healing therapies, but additionally mental health. We have over 48,000 veterans who reside in the greater Glendale area, and approximately 1/3 of them are female. On September 13th, 14th, and 15th, co-sponsored by the city and Glendale Community College with Wellness Works, we will be holding our 5th annual vigil to raise awareness of 22 veteran suicides that we know of and can document a day. We want to remember the fallen. We want to support the living. And our opening ceremony will be on Friday, September 13th at 2 p.m. at Verdugo Park. We'll continue to walk the watch throughout the weekend, and at 2 o'clock on Sunday, September 15th, we will have our closing ceremony. We encourage you to attend, to bring family. Our closing ceremony is more of a memorial because we will be presenting American flags to the families of those individuals who have committed suicide, because even though they're veterans, our U.S. government does not provide them with an American flag. We wear purple. Many of you remember seeing in windows the Blue Star Mothers, the Gold Star Mothers. Purple Star families are those who have lost a veteran to suicide. So we want to encourage you to remember the fallen and support the living, because without them, we wouldn't be able to be here today. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Camille. Valerie Milora.
Good evening to all of you. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Valerie Remy Milora. I've been a resident of Glendale for 3 years now. I have 2 daughters who've been in the Glendale public school system, one at Glendale City College and the other one at Franklin Magnet School. I'm here today to express my personal concern as well as growing concern among Glendale citizens. We have about 200 petitions so far about the partnership with our city with Planned Parenthood and their decision to open a 7,000 square foot facility a few blocks from here. I suspect many of you are sympathetic to Planned Parenthood. I fully understand that. After all, Planned Parenthood portrays themselves as being extremely pro-women and having the wellness of all women at heart. I'm the mother of 3 daughters. I'm also a personal trainer and a nutrition coach. I get up every day to empower women to develop a healthy relationship with their bodies and to know their infinite worth. Planned Parenthood does not have the best interest of women at heart. If you care deeply about women, you will reject the lies of Planned Parenthood. They profit off the most vulnerable women and prey on the youngest victims. In fact, we were just talking about violence against women, and I believe that Planned Parenthood is engaged in some of the worst violence against women of all ages. Planned Parenthood has been caught shielding child predators, lying about the services that they provide, deceiving government officials, defying state and federal laws, and submitting fraudulent medical care claims. Because of the partnership between Planned Parenthood and the Glendale School District, my daughter will not be going to Toll Middle School tomorrow for her orientation. I have decided to pull her out of the Glendale public school systems. The partnership between Planned Parenthood and the schools is grooming our children, making them praise for sexual predators. The sexual curriculum that has been partnered with Planned Parenthood teaches children as young as kindergarten about every type of sexual act, including oral sex and anal sex. Those are the two methods that sexual predators prefer. In addition, by teaching staff members how to obtain abortions for their students without parental consent and without notifying parents, they are also potentially harming our children in a way that we can't even begin to understand. They are deceiving parents, and they are using children for things that are beyond comprehension. When a child goes for an abortion and is not able to tell her parents about that, any consequences from the abortion, emotional trauma, physical trauma, is something she cannot share with her family. She's not even in a position herself to understand the depth of that trauma. What I'm concerned about is the message that we're giving to our children with this partnership, as well as the potential danger that we are exposing all of our young women to, and the young men, because they become victims of that as well. So what I want to do is urge you to consider severing your partnership with Planned Parenthood and doing everything you can to truly protect our young women. Thank you so much for your time. I will answer questions if you have any.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Seeing no other speakers, this item is closed. Next item on the agenda, please.
Item 4, consent items. Item 4A, approval of the minutes of the regular commission meeting held on May 13 of 2019.
May I have a motion on this item, please?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Brusalian?
Yes.
Vice Chair Magrin?
Yes.
Commissioner Perrion?
Yes.
Commissioner Smerjan?
Yes.
Chair Burns?
Yes.
Just a quick point of clarification. Did you want to abstain instead?
Yes.
Okay. So the vote will be 4 affirmative and 1 abstention.
I'm missing something. What's going on?
I was absent last time.
Oh, that's correct. Yes, you were. Next item on the agenda, please.
Item 5, business agenda. Item 5A, action items. Item 1, selection of commission officers. 1A, motion to select chair for the term of August 2019 till August 2020. Item B, motion to select vice chair for the term of August 2019 to August 2020.
Ms. Powers, could you please provide us with an overview of the procedures for selecting officers?
Certainly. Chair Burns, members of the commission, so at this time, it's that time of year to select commission officers, and once the chair opens the floor for nominations for position of the chair, commissioners may make nominations for the position. A commissioner may be nominated by another commissioner or may nominate herself. A motion to nominate an individual does not require a second. Once all nominations have been made, the chair will close the floor to nominations. To be selected for the position, a candidate must have at least 3 affirmative votes, and if no candidate receives at least 3 affirmative votes, the nominations will reopen and the process will repeat. And upon selection of a chair, the process will be repeated for vice chair, and the newly elected chair and vice chair will take their seats before continuing with the rest of the meeting. And if there's one person nominated for a position, the roll call will be a yes/no vote. if there's multiple names for consideration for a position, commissioners would vote by saying the name of the person that they'd like to have for that position. I'd be happy to answer any questions. If not, I will turn it over to the chair to open the floor.
The nominations are now open for the position of chair.
I nominate Eileen Magrin for chair.
Are there any other nominations? We will close this, seeing no other nominations. So we'll now take a roll call vote with a yes, no for Commissioner Magrin to be chair.
Commissioner Brusalian?
Yes.
Commissioner Magrin?
Yes.
Commissioner Perrion?
Yes.
Commissioner Submergent?
Yes.
Chair Burns?
Yes.
Thank you. This time, we'll open nominations for vice chair.
I'll nominate Commissioner Brusalian. Did I chop off your last name?
Any other nominations? No? Okay, so this is closed, and we'll take roll call for Commissioner Brusalian as vice chair.
Commissioner Brusalian?
Yes.
Commissioner Burns?
Yes.
Commissioner Perrion?
Yes.
Commissioner Submergent?
Yes.
Chair Magrin?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Congratulations to both of you on your selections. May we at this time just do a quick switch and continue the
Surely.
meeting? Would that be okay?
Surely that would be
Thank you.
working very nicely.
All right. We'll take a quick recess.
And me?
Yes.
Next item on the agenda, please.
Item 2, Domestic Violence Awareness Month activities. Item 2A, motion approving request to the Glendale City Council for a proclamation of October 2019 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Item 2B, motion approving partnership with the Glendale YWCA for the DVAM Candlelight Visual and Purple Tie Awards.
Chair Magrin, I can provide a brief report to the Commission. So as you know, over the years, the CSW has organized Domestic Violence Awareness Month activities, also known as DVAM, to raise awareness of domestic violence and to help prevent and eliminate violence within the city of Glendale. And this year, the Commission has 2 items to consider. The first is the annual proclamation for Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Glendale. The Commission may request and receive a proclamation from the Mayor and City Council to designate October 2019 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Glendale. And as in previous years, this proclamation could be presented to both the Commission and the Glendale YWCA at the City Council meeting, and a date that works well would be Tuesday, September 24th. And that way, There'd be enough time to make any announcements for any related domestic violence activities at 6 p.m. And traditionally, the chair accepts this on behalf of the CSW, and any commissioners that are available are welcome to attend the city council meeting to accept the proclamation. And then the next item for the commission's consideration is a candlelight vigil and purple tie awards. And the Glendale YWCA has expressed interest in partnering with the commission again on the candlelight vigil, which is an annual tradition for both organizations together. And I know most of you are familiar with the candlelight vigil, which is held in memory of victims of domestic violence, both survivors and those who have lost their lives. And there's usually a series of speakers. A member from the commission speaks, a member from the YWCA, the police department, council, and sometimes we have victim testimony too at these events. And this year the YWCA is proposing to add another element to the event called the Purple Tie Awards. And these awards would be given to men in the community who work to support domestic violence survivors and work towards the elimination of violence against women. And they would like to give out 3 awards, one to a law enforcement representative locally here within the Glendale Police Department, one to a volunteer or advocate that works with the YWCA, and one to a partner organization, another nonprofit that the YWCA works closely with to take its mission forward. And the YWCA would like to hold this event either the evening of Wednesday, October 2nd or Thursday, October 3rd at the YWCA. And they are happy to work with the commissioners to get their assistance in setting the program for the vigil and help select speakers for the event. And through this partnership, the city would help design and print any flyers and promotional items in the program for the event. And with us this evening, I'd like to invite Tara Peterson, Executive Director of the YWCA, to the podium in case you have any questions, or she can fill in anything that staff has missed. So thank you so much. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Christine. Good evening. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. As Christine said, we're really excited about upcoming events for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And just listening to the statistics and what the police, the Glendale Police Department was sharing, just goes to show that we still need to raise more awareness. And seeing that there has been an increase, we know that that's only incidents that are reported. That does not include incidents that go unreported for people who are still living in silence, people who are still living in shame. And so the more we can do to raise awareness about domestic violence and its impact on our entire community, letting people know that it's not just the woman's responsibility, but it's all of our responsibilities, and that it impacts all communities. The more we can do that, we may even see an increase in calls, because the more people become aware of it, they may reach out for help. And so we really want to take this opportunity for Domestic Violence Awareness Month, not only to remember people who have lost their lives and support family members, but also to celebrate survivors of domestic violence. And then the other key piece, the Purple Tie Awards, is something that we've been really thinking about. You know, we do a lot of work around intervention. How can we really prevent domestic violence? And if we don't have men at the table to talk about violence against women, to talk about the norms, the different type of social norms that may lead somebody to become abusive, then it's going to be difficult for us to solve this problem alone. And so the purpose of the Purple Tie Awards is really to shine the light and give a voice to men in the community that have been working with the YWCA Glendale over the years. And we're hoping to continue this tradition, because we feel that if we're able to say, look, this man is willing to talk about this issue, then other men will be willing to talk about this issue. And so it's just an opportunity for us to engage the community in a different way. And we really hope that you would partner with us again, and looking forward to your support.
Thank you, Tara. Just point of clarification, did we say that October 2nd or 3rd, or have we not decided?
We have not decided. We had 2 dates, I think, right? We're proposing?
Yeah, Chair Magrin, I believe there are 2 dates that are open. I think traditionally this has been held on a Thursday evening. So at this time we can
confirm a date.
Yeah.
Today, that'd be great, because we would like to see what's best for you all.
What is the 2nd?
Wednesday.
It's a
Wednesday.
Do you need a motion for that, for October 3rd?
It can be part of the motion, Commissioner Burns, members of the commission, to answer your question. It could be part of the motion when approving the domestic violence, candlelight vigil, and purple tie awards, to pick a date if you'd like to pick a date. Yeah.
Thursday's good for me. Thursday the 3rd.
Thursday.
Me as well.
I believe it would be in the evening, so probably around 6:30. We'd have to go back and look, see what time we typically start. Okay. Okay. Thursday. Does that work, Tara?
Yeah.
Thursday?
Tara, if I'm not mistaken, people start to arrive quite a bit earlier than 6:30, 6 o'clock, quarter to 6.
Yes.
And there's plenty of parking at the Y.
Plenty of parking after 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that's why we prefer to hold the events in the evening. But yes, so the school parking lot will be reserved for parking after 6 o'clock. And so that will be available to everyone who comes out to the event. It will be back in our Regency room this year. Last year we were getting fire sprinklers, so we couldn't hold it this year. Our fire sprinkler project's completed, and so we could actually do a real candlelight visual because we have fire sprinklers now. So we, again, it's gonna, hopefully it really kicks off Domestic Violence Awareness Month for us. We also have some other events that are happening, some trainings around domestic violence in the community, and we'll be doing some other work throughout the month as well. So this is like the lead up to that.
Do you need alternative 1 as the what we would be interested in? The commission may approve its participation in both activities.
Yes.
I would move alternate 1. Do we need a second for that?
Yes.
I second.
Okay, so before we take roll, so this is to participate in the proclamation and the candlelight vigil / purple tie, awards on Thursday, October 3rd.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Roll call, please.
Vice Chair Broussalian,
Yes.
Commissioner Burns,
Yes.
Commissioner Perrin,
Yes.
Commissioner Simmergen,
Yes.
Chair Magrin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Item 3, appointment of selection committee for the 2019 to 2020 student ex officio members. Item 3A, motion appointing 2 commissioners and 1 student ex officio to the selection committee.
I would like to volunteer for that.
I will volunteer too.
And
I would like to volunteer for the student ex officio position.
We can only have 2 commissioners on this, so if there's no other interest, we can just take a vote on this? No? Okay. All right, so a motion to have Commissioners Burns and Broussalian and ex officio Delanian on the committee to help select the next student ex officio members for the term of November 19 to 20. Thank you. Have a motion?
I'll motion.
Thank you.
second.
Roll call.
Vice Chair Broussalian,
Yes.
Commissioner Burns,
Yes.
Commissioner Perrin,
Yes.
Commissioner Simmergen,
Yes.
Chair Magrin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item 4, update regarding ad hoc committees to support the 2019 to 2022 strategic plan for the Commission on the Status of Women. 4A, motion providing further direction on ad hoc committees.
Chair Magrin, members of the commission, this item is placed under action items, not necessarily to create new ad hoc committees or move anything around, but just to give commissioners the flexibility. But it is really just an opportunity for commissioners to provide updates on any work that may have occurred offline in their ad hoc committees. So at this time, if any commissioners want to talk about their meetings, we're welcome to take those comments now.
Thank you. I'd like to give an update. Of course. Okay. So myself and Commissioner Simmergen have met on ad hoc basis multiple times to discuss our strategy and approach for the ad hoc committee on community and partnerships and outreach. And we'd like to give you an update as far as what we've done. We've gone through current list of partnerships that we have. We've also reviewed possible, all the other organizations that we can pick from. Our goal is that by the next quarterly meeting, to be able to have a final list. It may be from existing partnerships and new ones. Right now, we're working on paring down that list. And what we want to do is meet with representation and see if there's any gaps in those organizations as far as alignment with the commission, and then provide you with a final list at our next meeting. That's my update.
Thank you. Thanks. Anybody else? Commissioner Burns? Nope.
Next item.
Item B, reports, information only. Item B1, update on the Commission on the status of Women's Legislative Agenda.
Chair Magrin, members of the Commission, this report is being provided as an update on the status of the state legislation that the Commission has recommended to City Council regarding women and girls. At this time in the legislative process, all bills that are still in session have passed their House of Origin, and legislators have until September 13th of this year to pass bills, and then they'll go to the governor for his consideration, and the governor will have until October 13th to sign or veto any bills that make it to his desk. The table included in the report provides a status update on the 10 bills that the Commission is tracking. Of the 10 bills, 9 are still in session, which is great. One, which was the sales and use tax exemptions for feminine hygiene products, has become a 2-year bill, so that could be taken up next year. And it should be noted that the one change is staff changed the position of one bill from support to watch, as amendments were made to the bill that changed it significantly. It has to do with SB 22, rape kits testing bill. The main crux of that bill was to provide a $2 million appropriation to local law enforcement agencies to process rape kits, and they took that out of the bill, and it just simply says rape kits should be processed as quickly as possible. So it really took the meat out of it, so that one is just being put on as a watch. That concludes the report if you have any questions. And by the next meeting, staff will have an update as to the final disposition of these bills after they've gone to the governor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item B2, program update for the 19th Amendment Centennial Celebration.
Thank you. Chair Magrin, this is just a brief oral report because there isn't too much to talk about, but Commissioner Samarijan and staff have been working with the Library Arts and Culture Department on this endeavor to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which gave women the right to vote. A Reflect Space exhibit will run from mid-January to mid-March of next year in 2020. And currently, auxiliary programming is still being planned out, but it might include a video contest for Glendale High School students, Glendale Unified High School students, I should say, and as well as a panel discussion and possibly a documentary screening. And more information will be provided at the next meeting as this event draws closer and the events get actually confirmed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 6, Commissioner staff comments.
So this past month, for 2 weeks, I had the opportunity to volunteer at the YWCA with Camp Rosie, and I just wanted to share that it was definitely an amazing camp. It was for 2 weeks. The girls got to go visit various sites in Glendale, ranging from City Hall to the forensics department, and then like the horse ranch, and it was definitely an amazing experience for me, and I met some very awesome girls, and it was just a reminder to them, and it reminded me that their dreams are definitely within reach and their possibilities are vast. So it was a great experience, and I'm really glad that the YWCA is here in Glendale, and families and girls from various ages have the opportunity to do something like that during the summer. And along with that, I just wanted to say thank you for this year. It was awesome having the opportunity to sit as an ex officio and listening to various different departments come and speak. Very informative, so I just wanted to say thank you for that. Yeah.
Thank you. And I don't know how long we have with them, but Commissioner Perrion and I had the special opportunity to select you both. So I want to thank both of our student ex officios for participating and being included and offering their insights. We enjoyed having you. I know we all did, and I did especially.
I also wanted to just say thank you to all of you. It was a very humbling experience to listen to what everyone had to come and say during the 4 meetings we had and to listen to all of your input. And it was a great takeaway for me to see what everyone had to say and all their ideas and how to further the city of Glendale, especially with women. So thank you.
Thank you.
It's been wonderful working with you. Best of luck in the future. I do want to add, as far as Camp Rosie, I was able to attend the one session where one of the groups came and sat at the dais, and Ms. Powers presented a PowerPoint on the city and the details and how the city departments work. And it was just so much fun watching these girls sit around the dais. They were so thrilled to be here and playing musical chairs until they all found their right chair. And so it was really cute and very inspiring.
I would like to ask our attorney something. The lady that talked about Planned Parenthood, is that a topic that the Commission on the Status of Women would have on an agenda to discuss?
I wasn't clear from her conversation if she was talking about a relationship between the city of Glendale and Planned Parenthood or GUSD and Planned Parenthood. And so my understanding was it was with GUSD. And so then
Planned Parenthood is going to be, I think she mentioned, is going to be opening up a new facility in Glendale, and that's what she was opposed to.
Commissioner Burns, to answer your question, they have an application to open up a facility here in Glendale, and they're currently going through the permit process in the city of Glendale. But it's not a partnership, it's just Planned Parenthood opening up a facility in Glendale, just like any other nonprofit organization or company that would come in and open up and going through the permit process. And then any other relation to GUSD is with GUSD, and that's not something that staff here at the City of Glendale is aware of or can comment on.
This is definitely a hot topic.
But unless there's some issue, like a zoning issue or inability to open up a business at a particular location, that would really be a city council issue.
It would be city council. Yeah. So this wouldn't be a discussion that we would need to be involved in.
Are you asking, should the commission take a position on Planned Parenthood? No, I don't think that's something that the commission would be able to opine on.
I just wanted to make sure. Yes, I want to make sure of that.
Thank you.
Okay, Chair Magrin and members of the commission, on your behalf, we have, and on behalf of the City of Glendale Mayor, we have commendations for both ex officio Delanian and Garapetian, and they read, in recognition of your dedicated, outstanding service as an ex officio member of the Commission on the Status of Women, thank you for your admirable service to the Glendale community. On behalf of the City of Glendale, we wish you continued success on all your future endeavors. And so thank you so much for your service, and it's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shall we give them the certificates now or later?
Of course we can.
So, anybody else would like to add anything today? Okay, so do we just adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Thank you. Meeting
Meeting
adjourned.
adjourned at 6:26.
Would you believe that yesterday